Video opens with calm, uplifting music. The speaker is warm and empathetic, perhaps sitting in a comfortable armchair with a glass of water nearby. Hello and welcome. I want to start by asking you a question. Do you ever feel like you're doing everything right, but your body just isn't responding? Maybe you're eating healthier, you're walking every day, but that stubborn belly fat won't budge. Or maybe you're trying to get your blood sugar under control, but the numbers stay frustratingly high. Perhaps you just feel a constant low-grade fatigue, a bit of brain fog, or an achiness in your joints that you've started to accept as a normal part of getting older. If any of that sounds familiar, I want you to know two things. First, you are not alone. And second, this is not an inevitable part of aging. The real reason you might be feeling this way is likely something you've never been told, and it has to do with the most essential substance in your body, water. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I drink plenty of water. But here is the paradox that most people, and even many doctors, overlook. As we age, our ability to absorb the water we drink diminishes. Our body's water content can drop from around 75% in our youth to less than 50% in our senior years. Think of a juicy, ripe plum versus a prune. That slow, internal drying out process is happening inside of us too. This isn't just about feeling thirsty. This is about cellular dehydration. When our cells don't have enough water inside them, everything slows down. Our metabolism gets sluggish, our circulation becomes less efficient, and our brain signals don't fire as quickly. It's like trying to run a city during a power brownout. So what if the solution wasn't just drinking more water, but making the water you drink smarter? What if a simple, nearly free morning ritual could rehydrate your body on a cellular level, potentially helping to balance your blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and even help you lose that stubborn weight? The secret lies in adding back one simple natural element to your morning glass of water. It's a practice backed by a surprising amount of modern science. In fact, it's the very same principle used in hospital feed drips to save lives. In this video, we're going to explore the powerful science behind this morning habit. We'll cover why it works, the 5 surprising benefits it can have for your health after 55, exactly how to do it safely and effectively, what kind of salt is best, and most importantly, who should be cautious. So, if you're ready to learn why you might be just one glass of water away from feeling more energetic and vibrant, let's begin. Before we dive in, please take a moment to say hello in the comments below. It's always so encouraging to see our community of health seekers grow. The problem with plain water and the electrolyte secret. Let's start by debunking a common myth. We're often told to drink 8 glasses of water a day, but for our bodies, it's not always that simple. When you drink a large amount of plain water, especially on an empty stomach, it can sometimes pass right through you. Your body, in its infinite wisdom, works hard to maintain a very specific mineral balance in your blood. If you dilute your blood too quickly with plain water, your kidneys will often just flush it out as urine to restore that balance. In the process, you can lose essential minerals called electrolytes, like sodium, potassium, and magnesium. This is a concept well understood in sports medicine. Endurance athletes know that if they only drink plain water during a race, they risk a dangerous condition called hyponatremia, where sodium levels in the blood become dangerously low. That's why sports drinks contain electrolytes. But we don't need to be marathon runners to experience this. A milder, chronic version can happen to us as we age. We drink our water, but we're not replenishing the minerals needed to carry that water into our cells. Here's how it works at a microscopic level. Every cell in your body has something called a sodium-potassium pump. You can think of it as a cellular gatekeeper. This gatekeeper needs both sodium and potassium to function. It uses them to actively pull water and nutrients from your bloodstream into the cell. Without enough of these key minerals, water can struggle to get where it's needed most. It stays outside the cells, which can lead to feeling puffy or bloated, while your cells themselves are still thirsty. This brings us to the simple, powerful solution: adding a tiny pinch of unrefined mineral-rich salt to your first glass of water in the morning. Why a pinch of the right salt is not the enemy. Now, I know the word salt can be alarming. For decades, we've been told to cut back on salt, and for very good reason when it comes to processed foods. The vast majority of sodium in the American diet comes from packaged processed foods and restaurant meals, where it's used in massive quantities with refined table salt. That is absolutely something to avoid. But we have to draw a critical distinction between refined table salt and unrefined natural salt. Refined table salt is about 99% sodium chloride. It's been stripped of all its complementary minerals. Unrefined salt, like Celtic sea salt, Himalayan pink salt, or Redmond real salt, is different. It's a whole food. Yes, it's mostly sodium chloride, but it also contains dozens of other trace minerals, like magnesium, potassium, and calcium, that our bodies desperately need. These are the very minerals that help that sodium-potassium pump work correctly. When you drink a glass of water with a small pinch of unrefined salt, you're not just drinking salt water, you are creating a natural electrolyte drink. You're giving your body the exact tools it needs to absorb that water deeply into your cells and tissues. It's the same reason that hospital saline IVs, which are used to rehydrate patients quickly and effectively, are a solution of salt and water, 0.9% sodium chloride to be exact, perfectly matching the concentration in our blood. This isn't about adding a lot of salt to your diet, it's about a tiny amount used strategically to make your water work better for you. Let's explore what that can do. So, what are the tangible benefits you might notice when you start your day this way? How can this simple glass of mineral-rich water make a real difference in how you feel? Let's explore two of the most common health frustrations for people over 55 and see how cellular hydration plays a critical role. Benefit number one, it can help stabilize blood sugar levels. If you or someone you love is dealing with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, you know the daily challenge of managing blood sugar. You watch what you eat, you try to exercise, but sometimes those morning fasting numbers are stubbornly high, and it can feel incredibly discouraging. Here's where proper hydration comes into play, and it's a factor that is often underestimated. When your body is dehydrated, the volume of blood in your system decreases. This means the sugar, glucose, in your bloodstream becomes more concentrated. Think of it like making maple syrup. You start with watery sap and boil off the water to get a thick, sugary syrup. A similar thing happens in your blood. When you're dehydrated, your blood is more like syrup than a flowing river. This creates two problems. First, it's much harder for your pancreas to release insulin, and for that insulin to travel efficiently through thick, syrupy blood to get to your cells. Second, and this is the crucial part, your cells themselves need to be well hydrated to be receptive to insulin's message. Imagine insulin is a key, and your cell has a lock on it. When insulin unlocks the cell, it allows glucose to enter and be used for energy. But when a cell is dehydrated, that lock gets rusty. The cell becomes less sensitive to the key. This is the very definition of insulin resistance. Your body is producing insulin, but the cells aren't listening properly. According to research highlighted by the National Institutes of Health, proper hydration is essential for cellular communication. Water is the medium in which all of your body's biochemical signals are sent. When you start your day with a glass of water that your body can actually absorb, thanks to those trace minerals, you are essentially oiling the locks on your cells. You're improving the environment for insulin to do its job. Many people who adopt this morning practice report more stable energy levels throughout the day, without the sharp peaks and crashes that come from blood sugar swings. And over time, they often notice their fasting blood sugar numbers begin to improve. It's not a magic cure, but it is providing your body with the fundamental foundation it needs for a healthy metabolism. Benefit number two, it may help reduce stubborn belly fat. This next benefit is directly linked to the first one. It's one of the most common complaints I hear from clients over 60. I'm eating less than ever, but I keep gaining weight around my middle. Why? The answer, once again, often comes back to insulin. When your cells are resistant to insulin, the sugar can't get inside them for energy. So where does it go? Your pancreas, sensing the high blood sugar, pumps out even more insulin in an attempt to get the job done. You can think of insulin as a fat storage traffic cop. When it's working correctly, it directs traffic smoothly. But when you have too much of it floating around, a condition called hyperinsulinemia, it goes into emergency mode. Its primary command becomes, get this excess sugar out of the blood, store it as fat. And the preferred storage facility for this fat is right around your abdomen. This is the dangerous visceral fat that wraps around your organs and drives inflammation. So how does our morning glass of mineral water help? By improving insulin sensitivity, as we just discussed, it helps lower the overall amount of insulin your body needs to produce. Less excess insulin means less hormonal signaling to store fat. But there's another fascinating piece to this puzzle, and it involves the stress hormone, cortisol. Research from institutions like Yale University has shown a direct link between high cortisol levels and the accumulation of belly fat. Every morning, your body naturally produces a spike of cortisol. It's called the cortisol awakening response, and its job is to wake you up and get you moving. However, if your body is waking up in a state of dehydration after a long night without water, it perceives this as a state of stress. This can cause that morning cortisol spike to be even higher. High cortisol tells your body to conserve energy and store fat, particularly in the abdominal area. When you begin your day by giving your body exactly what it lost overnight, water and essential minerals, you are sending a signal of safety and balance. You're calming that stress response. Instead of starting the day in a state of deficit and stress, you're starting in a state of replenishment. Over time, this gentle morning ritual can help regulate your cortisol levels, which in turn can make it easier for your body to let go of that stubborn, stress-induced belly fat. It's a calm, quiet way to support your weight loss efforts that has nothing to do with calories or intense exercise. Let's continue with 3 more ways this simple morning habit can profoundly impact your health and well-being. Benefit number 3, it helps soothe inflammation and joint stiffness. So many of us over 55 live with a certain level of chronic inflammation. We feel it as morning stiffness in our back, creaky knees when we stand up, or a general sense of achiness that we can't quite shake. We often blame arthritis or just old age, but underlying this is often a body that's running on a low-grade inflammatory fire. As we discussed earlier, when you're dehydrated, your blood volume decreases and its viscosity or thickness increases. A healthy circulatory system should be like a clean, fast-flowing river, delivering oxygen and nutrients while efficiently carrying away metabolic waste products. But when your blood becomes thick and sludgy, that flow slows down. This sluggish circulation means that inflammatory byproducts, which are created by normal cellular activity, don't get cleared out effectively. They can get stuck in your tissues and joints, contributing to that feeling of pain and stiffness. According to the Arthritis Foundation, staying well hydrated is one of the most important things you can do to support joint health, as it helps keep the cartilage lubricated and flushes out inflammatory toxins. But it's not just about blood. Your body also has a second parallel circulatory system called the lymphatic system. You can think of it as your body's garbage collection service. It's a network of vessels that removes waste, toxins, and other unwanted materials from every corner of your body. Unlike your blood, which has the heart to pump it, the lymphatic system relies on muscle contractions and adequate body fluid to move. When you are dehydrated, your lymphatic fluid thickens and becomes stagnant. Your garbage collection grinds to a halt, which is a recipe for inflammation. When you start your day with a glass of easily absorbable mineral-rich water, you are doing two things. First, you're improving your blood volume and flow, helping that river run clean again. Second, you're providing the fluid your lymphatic system needs to do its job properly. It's like giving your body's internal cleaning crew the tools they need to start the day right. Many people find that after a week or two of this practice, that persistent morning stiffness begins to ease, and they simply feel more fluid in their movements. Benefit number 4. It can lead to plumper, more youthful-looking skin. We spend hundreds, even thousands of dollars over our lifetime on creams, serums, and lotions, all promising to hydrate our skin from the outside. But true, lasting skin health starts from the inside. If you've noticed your skin becoming drier, thinner, or more crepey as you've gotten older, it's a direct reflection of what's happening on a cellular level. Our skin structure is largely made up of collagen and elastin fibers, which give it its firmness and bounce. These fibers are like tiny sponges, and they need to be saturated with water to stay plump and healthy. When they become dehydrated, they shrink and become brittle. This is what allows fine lines and wrinkles to form. Think of the difference between a plump, juicy grape and a shriveled raisin. The only difference is water content. Drinking plain water helps, but as we've learned, it doesn't always get absorbed efficiently. By adding a pinch of unrefined salt, you are providing the electrolytes that act as water magnets. The sodium and other trace minerals help pull water into your skin cells, and more importantly, hold it there. According to the American Academy of Dermatology, proper hydration is key to maintaining a healthy skin barrier. This barrier is your skin's first line of defense, and it's what prevents moisture from evaporating out into the air. The minerals in unrefined salt, particularly magnesium and potassium, are crucial for supporting this barrier function. When you consistently hydrate from within, you'll notice a difference that no topical cream can replicate. Your skin may start to look less dull and more luminous. Fine lines can appear softer, and that dry, tight feeling, especially in the winter months, can be replaced by a feeling of comfortable, lasting hydration. It's the simplest and most affordable beauty secret there is. Benefit number 5. It promotes healthy digestion and regularity. Let's talk about a topic that can be uncomfortable, but affects millions of people, especially as we age: constipation. So many people reach for fiber supplements, laxatives, or specific foods, and while those can help, they often miss the root cause. For a huge number of people, the primary cause of chronic constipation is simply dehydration. Here's why. One of the main jobs of your large intestine, or colon, is to reabsorb water from digested food before it's eliminated. It's a vital water conservation system. However, when your body is dehydrated, your colon goes into overdrive. It will try to squeeze every last drop of water out of the stool to provide that water to the rest of your body's essential functions. The result is stool that becomes hard, dry, and very difficult to pass. When you drink your morning glass of mineral-rich water, it provides your body with a surplus of hydration. This sends a signal to your colon that it doesn't need to be so aggressive in reabsorbing water. The water you drink can stay in the bowel, which helps to soften the stool, making it much easier to move through your digestive tract. This gentle, natural process is far better for your long-term gut health than relying on harsh stimulant laxatives. Furthermore, this practice can help in other ways. Proper hydration is necessary for the production of stomach acid, which is essential for breaking down food and for producing the mucus lining that protects your entire digestive tract. Starting your day by hydrating properly sets your entire digestive system up for success, leading to less bloating, better nutrient absorption, and comfortable, predictable regularity. How to make your morning mineral water, a step-by-step guide. So now that we understand the powerful why behind this practice, let's walk through the simple how. This isn't a complicated recipe. The goal is to create a gentle, balanced solution that your body can easily recognize and absorb. The core recipe. Here is the basic formula to start with. Water. Begin with 8 to 12 ounces, about 1 regular glass of warm or room temperature water. Avoid cold water first thing in the morning, as it can be a bit of a shock to your digestive system. Warm water is more soothing and easily absorbed. Filtered water is ideal if you have access to it. Salt. Add just a small pinch of unrefined mineral-rich salt. What is a pinch? It's generally about 1/8 of a teaspoon. The key here is to start small. You should barely be able to taste the salt. If the water tastes like seawater, you've used far too much. The goal is a taste that is subtly savory, almost like a very mild broth. Slowly sip this on an empty stomach before your morning coffee or tea. Don't gulp it down. Give your body a chance to absorb it gently. After you've finished, it's best to wait about 20 to 30 minutes before eating or drinking anything else. This gives the water time to move from your stomach into your system and begin hydrating your cells without competing with digestion. The most important step, choosing the right salt. This is, without a doubt, the most critical part of the process. The type of salt you use makes all the difference. What to avoid? Please do not use standard white iodized table salt. This type of salt has been processed at very high heat, which strips it of all its beneficial trace minerals. It is essentially 99% sodium chloride, and it often contains anti-caking agents to prevent it from clumping. Think of it as the white flour of the salt world. What to look for? You want a natural, unrefined, whole food salt that still contains its full spectrum of minerals. Here are 3 excellent and widely available choices in the US. Celtic sea salt. This is one of my top recommendations. It's harvested from the coastal regions of France and is typically a light grey colour because it's naturally moist and retains a rich profile of minerals like magnesium, potassium and calcium. It has a complex, briny flavour. Redmond Real Salt. This salt is mined from an ancient underground seabed in Utah, which means it's protected from modern ocean pollutants. It has a pinkish hue and contains over 60 trace minerals. It has a slightly sweeter, milder flavour than other sea salts. Himalayan pink salt. Probably the most well-known of the mineral salts, this is harvested from ancient salt mines in Pakistan. Its beautiful pink colour comes from its rich mineral content, which includes iron, potassium and magnesium. There is no best one among these 3. They are all excellent choices. The key is to look at the packaging and ensure it says unrefined and that the only ingredient is salt. Start with whichever one is most accessible to you. Optional boosters for added benefits. Once you get comfortable with the basic salt water routine, you can occasionally add a booster to target specific health goals. Think of these as adding an extra layer of therapeutic benefit to your morning hydration. For digestive support, a squeeze of lemon juice. Adding a teaspoon or 2 of fresh lemon juice can gently awaken your digestive system. The acidity signals your stomach to begin producing digestive enzymes, preparing it for your first meal of the day. Plus, you get a nice dose of vitamin C and antioxidants that support your liver's natural detoxification processes. One word of caution: if you have issues with acid reflux or heartburn, this might not be for you. Also, because lemon juice is acidic, it's a good idea to drink it through a straw to protect your tooth enamel. For blood sugar balance, a splash of apple cider vinegar. Make sure you choose a raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother, as that's where the beneficial bacteria and enzymes reside. The acetic acid in ACV has been shown in numerous studies to help improve insulin sensitivity and blunt the blood sugar spike from a meal. Adding a teaspoon to your morning water can give you an extra layer of metabolic support. For anti-inflammatory power, a grating of fresh ginger. Ginger is a powerhouse of anti-inflammatory compounds called gingerols. It has a warming effect on the body, which can help boost circulation and soothe a sluggish digestive system. If you often wake up feeling stiff and achy, adding a small amount of freshly grated ginger or a splash of ginger juice can be wonderfully soothing. A note of caution: ginger can have a blood-thinning effect, so if you are on blood-thinning medication, please consult your doctor first. You don't need to add these every day. Listen to your body. Some mornings, a little lemon might feel right. On a cold day when your joints feel stiff, ginger might be the perfect addition. The foundation is always the water and the mineral salt. An important conversation: who should be cautious with this practice? Now, before you get started, we need to have a very important conversation. While this gentle hydration practice is safe and beneficial for most people, it is not for everyone. Your health and safety are the #1 priority, so please listen to this next section carefully. Our bodies have an amazing, intricate system for balancing fluids and electrolytes. However, certain health conditions can impair this system, and in those cases, adding extra sodium, even in this small, mineral-rich form, is not advised. Please avoid this practice if you have any of the following conditions: chronic kidney disease, CKD. Healthy kidneys are masters at filtering blood and balancing sodium. If you have been diagnosed with kidney disease, your kidney's ability to manage sodium and fluid is compromised. Adding extra salt can be dangerous. The National Kidney Foundation strongly advises patients with CKD to follow the specific dietary guidance of their nephrologist. Congestive heart failure, CHF. For individuals with heart failure, the heart muscle is not pumping as efficiently as it should. This can cause fluid to back up in the body. The American Heart Association recommends that patients with CHF be very careful with their sodium intake, as it can worsen fluid retention and put extra strain on an already struggling heart. Liver disease, like cirrhosis. A healthy liver plays a role in regulating body fluids. In advanced liver disease, fluid balance can be severely disrupted, often leading to swelling, edema in the legs and abdomen, ascites. In this case, sodium restriction is a critical part of medical management. If you are on diuretic medication, water pills, these medications are specifically designed to help your body get rid of excess salt and water. Working against them by adding salt to your water can interfere with their effectiveness and disrupt the delicate balance your doctor is trying to achieve. What about high blood pressure, hypertension? This is the most common question, and it requires a nuanced answer. The standard medical advice for hypertension is to reduce sodium intake, and that advice is based on solid research, particularly concerning the high levels of processed sodium in the typical American diet. If you have high blood pressure, especially if your doctor has told you that you are salt sensitive, you must be extremely cautious. For you, the best course of action is to discuss this with your doctor first. You can explain the principle, using a tiny pinch of unrefined mineral-rich salt to improve water absorption. Together, you can decide if it's a safe strategy for you to try, perhaps by starting with an incredibly small amount, like 1/16 of a teaspoon, and monitoring your blood pressure daily. But this must be a decision you make in partnership with your healthcare provider. Your personal 7-day safety check-in. For everyone else, the key is to start slowly and listen to your body. Your body is your best guide. Here is a simple 7-day check-in to ensure this practice is right for you. Start with less. For the first week, use even less salt than you think you need, just a tiny pinch. Morning check-in. Each morning, before you have your mineral water, take a moment to notice how you feel. Monitor your body's signals. After you drink your water, pay attention throughout the day. Do you feel more energetic, less foggy, or do you notice any signs that this might not be right for you, such as unusual puffiness in your fingers or ankles, a new headache, or feeling overly thirsty? Trust your intuition. If at any point you feel that this practice is making you feel worse, simply stop. Go back to drinking plain water. This is about gently supporting your body, not forcing a result. A final reflection. The truth is, our bodies are not machines that are destined to break down on a predictable schedule. Think of your body more like a garden. For that garden to thrive, it needs sunlight, good soil, and most fundamentally, water. But if the soil is dry and compacted, the water just runs off the surface. For years, many of us have been pouring plain water onto compacted soil, wondering why our garden still feels dry and withered. This simple morning ritual, with a tiny pinch of unrefined salt, is like aerating the soil. It allows the water to penetrate deeply, to nourish the roots, and to bring the whole garden back to life. Let's quickly recap the powerful benefits we discussed. It can help stabilize blood sugar by improving cellular hydration and insulin sensitivity. It may help reduce stubborn belly fat by calming the stress hormone cortisol. It can soothe inflammation and joint stiffness by improving circulation. It promotes healthier, more youthful-looking skin by hydrating from within. And it supports healthy digestion and regularity by providing the colon with the water it needs. Please remember, this is not a magic pill. It is a foundational practice. It works best when it is part of a lifestyle that includes a balanced whole foods diet, regular movement, and restful sleep. This is about giving your body the fundamental tools it has been missing. I would be so grateful to hear from you. Which of these benefits are you most hoping to experience? Or perhaps you have a question I didn't get to. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Building a community where we can learn from each other is a wonderful part of this journey. If this video has helped you understand your body in a new way, please consider subscribing to the channel for more trusted, science-backed health insights for a vibrant life after 55. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. Here's to your health.